POKEMMO is home to some of the rarest shinies you'll probably ever see.
Got that right.
As you guys know, POKEMMO probably is a game that if you have any semblance of any knowledge of any kind regarding this game, you guys probably know that this game is pretty difficult to get shinies in. With that being said, you guys probably know that there are 5x hordes, 3x hordes, single encounter hunts, fishing hunts, egg hunts. There's many different types of ways to get shinies in this game. I'm going to be breaking down in this video 7 Pokemon that may or may not be like the absolute hardest to catch, but are super rare. And I did leave some of them on this list just so you guys maybe have some semblance of wanting a chance at getting one of these shinies in the future. With all that being said, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new. Leave a comment in the comment section. I'm very curious to know, do you have any shinies that I list here in this video? Let me know. The last one, I'd be very surprised if anybody has, but let me know.
Wait, what?
With all that being said, let's start off with number 1. For number 1, the Pokemon in question is a cast form. Yes, this is a shiny cast form. If we pull up on the GTL where this is not mine, by the way. I found it here. Shiny cast form. There's only one on the GTL right now, up for 24 days, 3x31. At about 60 million Pokeyen. Yes, this is quite the rare shiny. Let's actually see, this was hatched. So the thing is, like, this is an egg hunt, but at the same time, if you check the Pokédex, this is actually one of the Pokemon that most people can actually try to go for, as it is in the Safari Zone at a very rare encounter. So the thing about this that you might be curious to know is the fact that Safari Zone Pokemon in POKEMMO are already rare, right? If you're already seeing a very rare, that means it's obviously kind of difficult to get. That being said, seeing a shiny one is very scary because the run rate in the Safari Zone is generally higher than most people want to admit. And so you're probably going to see it run more often than you're going to see it caught. So how do you theoretically get this Pokemon? Well, you start off here in the Hoenn region in Lily Cove City. Go ahead and bike on over to the left and you're going to enter the Safari Zone, hopefully, as long as I don't encounter too many Pokemon here. Hopefully we can get out of this Mightyena real quick. And you're just going to go ahead and bike on down over into here. This is actually, if I can read it, here is the Safari Zone in the Hoenn region. Just go ahead and walk on in. And boom, you talk to this guy, pay $500. Obviously, you'd go in, and then you go around in the grass. I believe it is the grass here. If we check cast form here, yes, it is in the grass in the Hoenn Safari Zone at a very rare. So that's number 1. That's just cast form. And yes, while it's not like the rarest thing in the world, it's pretty up there. And the fact that there's only one on the GTL tells me a lot regarding that. The next Pokemon that we have here in this video is Porygon. Yes, let's pull up, see if we can pull up. I'm not even sure if there's going to be one on the GTL. It looks like there is not. Yes, shiny Porygon. I'll just flash a picture on screen. Shiny Porygon is quite the rare shiny. How can you obtain this? Well, if we go on the Pokédex and just search up Porygon, wow, no wild locations found. That's kind of crazy, right? How do you get this?
I'm glad you asked.
Well, the answer is actually in Kanto. It's actually in the Celadon game corner, which we are in right here. Obviously, start in the Kanto region, go in the Kanto, go in Celadon, and then boom, come in here, and you're gonna see these prizes. If you go over here, not here, sorry, you're gonna go over here and see that Porygon is a prize, all right, 5,500 coins. And so currently I have 100. You basically have to spend money here at the Porygon Prize Center until you have enough to basically breed, and then you're going to want to breed for Porygon. You're just going to keep breeding them over and over again. Porygon is a genderless Pokemon, which means I'm pretty sure it can only breed with Ditto and other Porygon. You obviously don't want to breed with other Porygon because that is very costly, so you would want to just continue breeding with Ditto. So it's one of the rarer egg hunts, and I guess it's rarer because while you can just simply buy a bunch of Porygons on the GTL, at the same time, it's not like they're super cheap, right? They're coming in at 6 or 8K or so, something like that. So yeah, it's not like they're the cheapest thing in the world, but yeah, if you wanted to just buy them yourselves, you would have to just spend a lot of money at the game corner here in Celadon, or I guess get lucky and try to win on one of the gamble machines. But don't gamble, kids, don't do it. With that being said, let's hop on over to number 3. For Pokemon number 3, it's actually a two-way tie. We're going to be seeing 2 Pokemon, or rather, not going to be seeing, but we're going to be basically showing you guys 2 Pokemon. So let's take a look, right? The first Pokemon here, let's pull it up in the Pokédex, or in the GTL rather, is going to be Lucario. I highly doubt there's one. Wow, there is one. Wow. There's actually a shiny Lucario. There's 2 shiny Lucarios right now in the GTL. As you can tell, crazy amount of money you would need to spend. 180 mil for this one at level 2, kind of crazy. And then this one, a secret shiny Lucario. Absolutely nuts, man. That's just crazy.
Amazing.
Kind of a lot of money. And so as you can tell, Lucario is not the most common shiny in the world. How do you get this? Well, basically the first way you can get it is in the wild at Lure location in Unova, in the cave in Unova. This is where you get Axew, for those of you guys who are hunting for Axew and Woobat. Probably more so on the Axew train than the Woobat train. But yeah, you can lure for Lucario here in Guidance Chamber in the cave. I believe you do have to be on the top floor. It will say Guidance Chamber here up here on the top left of your screen. So make sure that does change, that text does change. Otherwise, you're in the wrong spot. The other reason why Lucario is so rare is because Riolu actually doesn't breed. If I go to Lucario, Riolu, it says in the egg group cannot breed, which basically means that you cannot egg hunt for Riolu. What you do instead is either buy a bunch of Lucarios to breed, or you have to level up each Riolu into a Lucario in order to breed it. And so that obviously it makes the entire process way longer because Riolu can't breed. So you have to only breed with Lucario. And so yeah, your Lucario can breed, but it's just going to take you a long time. I think it's level 20 something. Or happiness rather. That's even worse actually. It's going to take happiness for your Riolu to actually evolve. So it's not even like you hit a certain level like I think a certain other Pokemon on this list is going to hit. So yeah, happiness in the daytime is how you get a Lucario. And so you're going to need to continuously, make all your Riolus super happy every single time so that they evolve, and then breed them back down using Dittos or whatever. So that's Pokemon number 3. It's Lucario. The other Pokemon I wanted to highlight at this time is actually Tyrogue. Yes, let's see if Tyrogue... See if there's one on here. There is actually not a Tyrogue here. So, and instead, I'll flash a picture right now on screen. Shiny Tyrogue, quite a rare Pokemon. Yes, why is Shiny Tyrogue so rare? Let's take a look in the Pokédex. Tyrogue, as you can tell here, is also a lure-only Pokemon in Union Cave. However, that's not the best way to do it. Obviously, it might be better to lure for these Pokemon than egg hunt at this point, especially in the case of Lucario. The big thing about Tyrogue is it's hard to get a Tyrogue specifically, and the reason for that is because you need a Hitmonchan, Hitmonlee, or Hitmontop. And so if you go through here, basically you have to breed using these Hitmonlee, Hitmonchan, Hitmontop. The thing about Tyrogue is that also, like Riolu, it cannot breed, making it very difficult because in order to get this shiny, you'd have to have a Hitmonlee, basically. You'd have to have a Hitmonlee, Hitmonchan, or whatever turn into a shiny, which are already very rare Pokemon, and then breed them back down into a Tyrogue. So it's a very time-consuming process.
That was a lot.
It's just, you'd have to continuously breed these Hitmonchan, Hitmonlee, Hitmontop, breed them down into a Tyrogue, and then there you go. There's your chance at a shiny. But if you miss, then you have to basically level up all the Tyrogues in your boxes again. We're talking like 12, 13 boxes most likely. Level these all up into different variations or whatever, and then breed them back down again. That's obviously very time consuming. So that's number 3. It's a mix between Tyrogue and Lucario, or I guess, yeah, Tyrogue and Riolu, I guess. That being said, let's move on to Pokemon number 4. All right, the next Pokemon is actually quite rare as well. It is going to be a Feebas. Yes, unfortunately, it doesn't look like there's any shiny Feebas on screen. Let's take a look. Okay, let's try if there's a Milotic. There actually is. We'll go with this. Milotic is obviously, in my opinion, a much more beautiful shiny than Feebas. If we're just being honest here, I think it's obviously way prettier. And Milotic is a very desired, very cool shiny. I actually have a team member who has a shiny Milotic. I believe it's Alpha too. Honestly, such an insane catch. But yeah, how do you get this super rare Pokemon? Well, let's check the Pokédex. First off, checking out Feebas. In the wild locations, we can see a Super Rod in Hoenn and in Sinnoh. I actually am not so certain about the Sinnoh spot. I'm gonna have to brush up on it, but I am familiar with the Hoenn spot, so we're gonna go there. You're gonna start off in Route 119 and use the Super Rod. So basically you have to fish for it, which is already a very slow, tedious process. And what makes Phoebus so much rare is that it only appears on one spot. So let me take you guys here. So here we're gonna try going from Mauville City. I'm just gonna go ahead and go on right, jump over all this stuff and surf across. Good thing we made that without anything. I'm gonna repel just because I don't feel like dealing with anything. I'm gonna go ahead and go on up. You gotta unfortunately walk through this area. Doesn't take too long. And then yeah, we're just gonna go on ahead and go on up here, and we should be seeing, might have passed it, to be honest. I think what we're doing is actually just going over here. So yeah, it should just be in this piece of grass right here. As you can tell here on the screen, I know you're seeing a bunch of glooms, but as you can tell, we're here in 119, Route 119. I believe it is channel 5 or channel 3. Correct me in the comments section, but there should be a single tile here underneath this waterfall, somewhere here where you can basically be fishing for the Phoebus. I'm gonna go ahead and change channels real quick. Let's just check out channel 3. Okay, it doesn't look like it's here. Maybe this is the wrong area, but you get the drift or the gist. Route 119. If you still need trouble finding it, there should be other guides here on YouTube regarding where exactly the Phoebus would be, but it is going to be on a single tile, and you have to super rod for that. And the thing about that tile is that it changes every, I believe it's 20 to 30 minutes, so you will need to be decently quick when it comes to that. So yeah, that's going to do it for Phoebus number 4. Let's move on to number 5. All right, the next Pokemon here at number 5 is going to be a Zorua. Yes, let's take a look if there's a shiny Zorua on the market. There is. Boom, there we go, baby. Quite a pretty shiny, as you can tell, this blue fox looking guy. Obviously, a very desired fan favorite Pokemon here. How do we get such a rare Pokemon? Well, Zorua is actually in the wild. And a horde too. You might be thinking, oh wow, what's so difficult about that? Well, it's in the Lostland Forest here in the Unova region in grass at a pretty low level as well. However, what makes Zorua very annoying to catch and see is its illusion ability, which means you'll need a specific Pokemon to counteract this illusion. So I brought along a trusty Weezing here, and the main ability for Weezing is Reactive Gas. Suppresses all other Pokemon abilities, as you can tell right here. So what we're going to do is lead our party with that Weezing and go on over to Lostland Forest. If I remember how to get there correctly, I believe it's up and then come over here. And unfortunately, the Zorua is actually a 3x horde, so it's not like as simple as like a simple 5x horde. You're gonna go ahead and go on into this forest, and boom, you should see a couple of people here. Go ahead and step a few feet in and hit your sweet scent. What you're gonna be experiencing is a bunch of Venipedes, some Cottonies, Whimsicots, things like that. However, a Zorua will most likely be hidden here. So what you're gonna wanna do is pull up your battle icon, battle chat, whatever, and then as you can tell here, just keep sweet sending. But as you can tell here, yeah, you're gonna want to see basically your Weezing say Reactive Gas ability, and then like a Pokemon will change here if there is one. So essentially, I'm gonna have to do it again, but yeah, you could just basically sit here with Leppas. Yeah, there's Petalils as well, and then yeah, there's a lot of different Pokemon here. That's also why Zorua is a little rare. But Zorua is not super common, as you can tell. This is already my 3rd horde in. I think every, like, I would say 6 to 8 hordes, you'll probably see one. Not even, honestly. Sometimes it could be like 8 to 12 hordes. You might see one Zorua. So the odds are very not great. However, I'm trying to get one on camera. It's kind of being a little picky here now that we're actually live here on camera and doing it. But basically, you want to keep your battle chat open just in case you miss something. You know, you're AFK brain farming or brain dead farming or just hitting buttons or whatever, and it becomes less fun, less enjoyable. So yeah, keep it on and basically just sit here and continue to sweet scent these 3x hordes of Venipedes and Petalils and whatever until you finally experience a Zorua. There we go, cool. And unfortunately, Zorua will not, like, it won't change up here normally how like a shiny will say or something like that. It'll say when you hover over it, it's a Zorua, not a Venipede. but you won't see it, say shiny Zorua. You only can see that it's blue here. So yeah, that's basically how it's gonna go. And as you can tell here in the battle chat, Zorua's illusion wore off. That's what you're keeping an eye on, just in case you are missing it and you're not looking here or here. At least you have like a fallback option here to kind of catch it in case you do miss a Zorua. So
wow, no, that's good.
Yeah, honestly, this is a spot that I do want to go to at some point to hunt. Honestly, maybe even now that I have 2 Magikarps, maybe I'll change it up and come here to hunt. But yeah, keep up your wheezing, get a reactive gas wheezing, that's very important. And yeah, go get yourself a Zorua. Very cool shiny. For this next Pokemon, I'm just going to kind of read some things off for you. This is a Pokemon that I have the least experience and least knowledge regarding, but we're going to pull it up. It is a Shedinja. Yes, so Shedinja, unfortunately, I don't think anybody's really going to sell a shiny Shedinja, as it is probably the rarest shiny in the game. How is this possible? Well, basically, the only way to encounter a Shedinja is to evolve an Nincada at level 20. So how do you get a Nincada, right? So Nincadas actually aren't super duper rare, right? They're actually common here in the grass and Hoenn. So what makes this so annoying? Each Nincada that you evolve is 1 encounter. If you have a shiny Nincada, so getting a shiny Nincada is not extremely difficult, I guess, because seeing as it's a common encounter, right? You could probably just or worst case, just single encounter hunt for it. There's a 0.003% chance for it to evolve into a shiny Shedinja. How is this possible, right? So let's go back to Nincada, evolution tree. So basically, in order to get a Ninjask, all you gotta do is level this up to level 20. Super easy, right? No, there's no harm, there's no risk in this. However, to get a Shedinja, you have to have space in the party with a Pokeball. That is extremely, extremely complicated. Basically, what we have to do here is to use boxes of normal Nincada and evolve them 5 at a time.
That was a lot.
Yeah, that's a very time commitment thing to do. Basically, as you can tell here, you have to have space in your party with a Pokeball, which means that you can't have 6 Pokemon in your party here. Which means that you have to level up all your Nincadas up to level 20, continuously over and over again, in order to get a shiny Shedinja. So, not the easiest thing in the world to do, right? If we take a look at shiny Ninjask, which I'm actually very curious to see how many of them are out there, it looks like, yeah, shiny Ninjask, not the cheapest shiny by any means, but yeah, shiny Ninjask, very cool shiny. How did this happen? They met at Route 116. Yeah, shiny Ninjask is obviously way more common than a shiny Shedinja. So yeah, shiny Shedinja, very, very difficult, very, very time consuming to get. However, not impossible, but definitely you want to be one of the, it's not the easiest thing to get. And honestly, a secret shiny Shedinja, don't even get me started on that. If you don't know what a secret shiny is, I would recommend Googling it, and I'll probably make a video on that in the future as well. So don't worry about that. And for the last Pokemon here, it's actually going to be, I know that it's not out there, but yeah, it's a Shaman. Shaman, for some reason, is very small here. As you can tell, shiny Shaman is going to be the rarest in the game. How is this possible? Well, shiny Shaman, I actually don't seem to have Shaman in my Pokédex. Looks like I haven't even seen it. Where could it be? The thing is, I didn't get to play during the Lunar New Year event, so yeah, that happened. But unfortunately, it's not looking like shiny Shaman or Shaman at all is in this Pokédex. Am I missing something or what's, but for some reason Shaman's not pulling up. Okay, either way, yeah, here is Shaman, and as you can tell, you can only catch this guy in the Lunar New Year, which means you can only catch 1 per account per year, and so you have 1 encounter every 365 or so days. That's nuts. And basically, how do you get it? You have to complete whatever the Lunar New Year challenge is. I think this past year was a bunch of raids, or turning things in for Mysterious Cherish Ball, like turning in Swarm Pokemon. But either way, either method took a long time. So it's not like it's something super easy anybody can just do. It takes a long time. And again, you only get 1 per account per year. And as I said, I missed it, unfortunately, so I don't have a Shaman in my Pokédex. But for those of you who do, you guys know what the time struggle and time commitment definitely was for that. But yeah, I figured I'd round it out here. 7 Pokemon that you will most likely never get and probably never see unless they're owned by someone else. But for the crazy people out there, those who are just dying to be different, dying for something else in this world, wanting to strive to be the best, strive to be so different from everybody else, these 7 Pokemon are definitely something that you could consider going for. And if you have all 7, I think you might have broke PokeMMO. I think they're going to come after you. But that's it for the video. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to leave a like and subscribe if you're new. I really appreciate the recent support. We just hit 3,300 subscribers, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Again, leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe. I'll see you guys later. Peace, and peace.